Sonic's Green Hills Adventure Season 6 Chapter 17 The Dread-Filled Threat. The fireplace crackled low, but the quiet of the room was suddenly cut by the sharp, rhythmic chime of the interdimensional link. Marina pulled the device from her bag, and as the holographic field expanded, it shimmered with the faces of the entire multiversal council of Sonics.
Guys, you're back on the line already? We just had a run-in with...
SatAM Sonic interrupted, his voice tight and urgent.
We know. Our scanners picked up a massive rift signature in Storybrooke. Was it him? Was it SatAM Robotnik?
Sonic sighed, leaning into the light.
Yeah, SatAM Robotnik dropped by the library. He's gone now. Maria and Annika sealed the rift. But there's something worse. I just remembered. He saw me in the stasis pod back in your world. He saw the tail. He knows water triggers the transformation.
The holographic frames went dead silent for a heartbeat. Then SatAM Sonic's face paled, his eyes wide with a raw visceral terror that the others hadn't seen before.
He saw. Sonic, you don't understand. If he knows you and your siblings and Marina are tethered to the water like that, you aren't just in danger. You're sitting ducks. He'll bait you. He'll flood a room, wait for the change, and then you're trapped. Your steam dry power takes time, kid. In those seconds, he can cage you, collar you, or worse.
Modern Sonic shrugged, trying to keep the mood light.
Whoa, chill out, other me. Robotnik's a chump. We've got a literal queen, a savior, and a pumpkin king on our side now. Plus, look at this crew. We're not exactly easy to catch.
Yeah, the guy's a walking egg-shaped target. We've beaten him 1,000 times. Just keep a towel handy and we're golden. Right?
SatAM Sonic's voice cracked, practically screaming at the camera.
No! Stop it. Stop being so arrogant. You haven't lived under his boot for years like I have. I am begging you, do not underestimate him. He doesn't play games. If he captures one of you while you're stuck in that form, he will use you as leverage to break the rest of the family. He'll put you in a tank and watch you drown in the air. Please, you have to take this seriously.
The desperate, raw begging in his voice made the movie crew flinch. Even Shadow looked unsettled by the sheer panic coming from a version of himself usually so composed. Hephis Sonic was floating in his frame, his eyes glowing with divine calm.
Brothers, peace. We have the power of the stars and the...
He stopped mid-sentence. He looked at SatAM Sonic's face. The trembling lip, the wide, haunted eyes, and his own expression shattered. The divine glow around him flickered and dimmed as a cold realization washed over him. Hephis Sonic's voice was a hollow, haunting whisper.
Wait, the desperation. The way he talks about him. He's not just a villain. He's just like Xylo.
At the mention of that name, the atmosphere in the link shifted instantly. Hephis Sonic looked down at his hands, his mind flashing back to being 6 years old, standing in the ruins of his life. He remembered the feeling of helplessness when his father was taken, and the crushing weight of his mother's death just hours before he had first met the movie crew back in Xylo's cave.
I felt that same terror when Xylo caused my parents' deaths. That feeling that no matter how much power you have, the monster is always one step ahead, waiting to tear your heart out. SatAM is right. This isn't a game of hero and villain. This is a predator hunting a family.
The realization of the comparison to Xylo hit like a physical blow. The jokes from Modern and Boom Sonic died in their mouths. The holographic frames became a row of somber, silent faces. Shadow broke the silence, his voice low and grounded.
If he's like Xylo, then we don't treat this like a skirmish. We treat it like a war.
SatAM Sonic whispered, tears pricking his eyes.
Thank you. Just, please stay dry. If he gets his hands on a mermaid, I don't think I can watch it happen again.
The link remains open, the gravity of the situation weighing heavy on everyone. The silence in the room was heavy, a suffocating weight that seemed to dim even the vibrant holographic glow of the interdimensional link. Hephis Sonic stayed suspended in the air of his frame, his usual divine composure replaced by a raw, trembling grief. Tears began to leak down his face, shimmering like liquid starlight before vanishing.
You don't understand. Comparing anyone to him is the heaviest thing I could ever say. To me, Xylo wasn't just a villain. He was the end of everything. He was a monster who feasted on the very essence of life.
Modern Sonic spoke quietly, his bravado completely gone.
Hephis. We know he was bad, but you're talking about him like he's still standing behind you.
Because that kind of evil never truly leaves you. You all see a world of heroes and villains. In my world, we had the soulless. My mother, she was one of them. She had half her soul torn away, leaving nothing but a hollow shell that looked like the person I loved but lacked the spark of life. I watched her waste away into nothingness because of Xylo's cruelty. That is what led to her death mere hours before I met the movie crew. I lived through a nightmare where family wasn't just leverage. It was a target for absolute erasure.
He looked directly at SatAM Sonic, their eyes meeting across the digital divide in a shared understanding of true, unchecked tyranny.
When I hear SatAM begging you, I don't hear a hedgehog being too cautious. I hear a brother who recognizes that same scent of death. If this Robotnik is even a fraction of what Xylo was, he won't just capture you. He will dismantle you. He will take the fact that you turn into mermaids, this beautiful and magical part of your identity, and he will turn it into a cage that makes you wish you had never been born.
The other Sonics, who had never stepped foot in the world of Hephis, looked horrified. The concept of the soulless sent a visible shiver through Boom Sonic, who sat down on the edge of his hammock, his face pale. SatAM Sonic's voice cracked.
Exactly. He doesn't want to rule you, movie. He wants to own you. He wants to strip away your free will and turn your brother's sister, girlfriend, and your cousin into specimens in a jar. If he knows about the water, he's already building the trap. He's already calculated exactly how many seconds it takes for your steam drive power to work, and he's going to make sure those seconds are the longest of your life.
Sonic spoke quietly, his hand tightening in Marina's.
I didn't realize. I thought we were just dealing with a meaner version of the guy I sent to the Mushroom Planet.
Hephis Sonic wiped his eyes, his voice steadying but still thick with emotion.
He was defeated in my world, yes. We stopped Xylo. But the cost was my entire childhood. My parents. My peace. Don't pay that price, movie. Listen to him. If you are sitting ducks in the water, then you stay away from the water until that man is erased from existence.
The Xylo realization hung over the chat like a funeral shroud. No one made a joke. No one offered a confident smirk. The gravity of SatAM Robotnik knowing their secret had transformed from a tactical error into a looming catastrophe. The silence in the room was absolute, broken only by the muffled sound of Hephis Sonic catching his breath through the holographic link. The comparison to Xylo had sucked the air out of the room, leaving the movie crew feeling exposed in a way that no physical battle ever could. Shadow broke the silence, his voice low and vibrating with a protective, grounded energy. He wasn't looking at the screen. He was looking at his siblings Sonic, Silver, and Annika, and then at Marina.
Then the rules of engagement just changed. If he knows about the 5 of you, he knows our flank is wide open. We are the only ones with this condition. The only ones who become immobilized the moment a drop of water hits us.
SatAM Sonic nodded frantically.
Exactly. And he's a master of environmental control. He won't just throw a bucket at you. He'll rig the sprinklers, he'll burst the pipes, or he'll wait until you're on that stage at the docks. He's going to turn the very thing you love, the water, into your executioner.
Sonic looked down at his hands, his voice small.
I keep thinking about how long it takes to steam dry. It's only a few seconds, but in those seconds, I can't move. I'm just stuck. If he's as fast as you say, he'll have the collar on me before I even hit the floor.
Hephis Sonic wiped away the last of his tears, his expression turning solemn.
The soulless weren't just made. They were broken. Xylo used their deepest connections to do it. Robotnik seeing you in that pod wasn't an accident, it was a revelation for him. He saw your true self, and to a man like that, anything true is something to be dissected and controlled.
Annika moved closer to Sonic, her voice trembling but brave.
But we have magic, and we have Mom and Dad. Xylo didn't have to fight a whole town of heroes, did he?
He fought a world, little one, And he almost won because we didn't take the threat seriously until it was too late. I'm telling you this because I love you all. Do not let your confidence be your undoing. If you see water, you run the other way. If it rains, you stay inside. You treat a puddle like it's a thermal detonator.
Marina wrapped an arm around Annika and leaning her head against Sonic's.
He's right. We've been treating the transformation like a cool secret or a fun trick. But to Robotnik, it's a kill switch. We can't afford to be sitting ducks anymore.
Silver was floating slightly, his teal aura dim and flickering.
I'll stay on high alert. I can use my psychokinesis to keep any liquid away from us, but I can't catch every drop if it's a downpour.
Then you don't go out in the rain. You don't go near the harbor. I am begging you, movie. Don't let him do to your family what he did to mine. Don't let him turn your light into something hollow.
The Council of Sonics looked on, the weight of the warning finally sinking in. They weren't just a family, they were targets. And in the shadows of Storybrooke, the memory of Xylo's cruelty served as a grim reminder of just how high the stakes had become. The heavy silence that followed Hefis Sonic's words was suffocating. For the first time since arriving in Storybrooke, they were completely at a loss. There were no jokes, no quick fix plans, and no gotta go fast bravado. They were just 5 kids and their family, staring into the digital abyss of the link, feeling the walls of the library and the world closing in. Sonic's voice cracked as he looks at his siblings. Sonic's voice cracked as he looked at his siblings.
We have nothing. I don't know how to fight a guy who can win just by turning on a faucet. If I'm stuck as a merhog, I can't run. If Silver is stuck, he's a target. Annika, Marina.
Silver's teal glow flickered out completely as he sinks to the floor.
I can't shield us from everything. If he floods a building, my psychokinesis won't be enough. I'll be too busy fighting the pressure and holding the space around us together to stop him from grabbing you guys.
Shadow's fists clenched so tight his knuckles were white, his grounded confidence finally fracturing.
I've spent my life being the ultimate life form. But against a predator like Xylo or a man like this Robotnik, what am I? I can't teleport us out if we're all dead weight on the floor, waiting for our skin to dry.
Marina pulled Annika closer, her hands trembling. She was the one who usually had the magical answers, the one who knew the lore and the logic, but her mind was a blank slate of pure terror. The idea of being captured and dismantled, while unable to fight back, had paralyzed her.
He's right. We're stumped. We're just targets. Every fountain in this town, every rain cloud, every pipe in the walls. It's all a weapon now. We can't move without wondering if the next step is a trap.
Sad Sonic watched them from the screen, his own eyes brimming with a helpless sort of pity. He wanted to give them a strategy, but he knew better than anyone that when Sad Robotnik had you in a corner with your greatest weakness, there was no plan. There was only survival. Hefis Sonic spoke softly, the tears still marking his cheeks.
The terror you feel right now, that's what he wants. He wants you stumped. He wants you too afraid to breathe. That's how Xylo won. He didn't just break bodies. He broke the will to fight before the battle even started.
Sonic looked at the interdimensional link with hollow eyes.
Then he's winning, because I've never been this scared in my life. Not even when I was in that pod.
Tom and Maddie stood behind their kids, their hands on their shoulders, but even they looked pale. The realization that their children, their brave, fast, powerful children, were currently sitting ducks, was a nightmare no parent could fix with a hug or a pep talk. The Council of Sonic stared back at them, a gallery of heroes who had seen it all, yet even they had no magic words to offer. The Xylo realization had stripped away the fantasy. In the dim light of the B&B, the family sat in a circle of pure, unadulterated fear, the sound of the ticking clock on the mantel sounding more and more like a countdown.